I'm on your side, but you're not.
So, here's my spin, right? I'm about almost halfway through. Bill Barr talking to the fucking judiciary in the House. Well, okay, it's supposed to be a hearing. It's not a hearing. It's like one half are asking him questions, trying to get information, and the other half is asking him questions and then yelling at him for trying to answer them. Like, so if the attempts by the left to just kind of just be goofy have not sunk in yet, you really need to watch the hearing, whatever the fuck that was, because holy shit, like, they've decided what's going on in this man's head. They've decided upon what days he did things. They have all of everything laid out in front of them. They know it all from start to finish. Everything that happened in between, if they were there, weren't there, it doesn't matter. They know what happened. And they tell him what he did. And then they ask him a question about it. And then he goes, well, first of all, that's not the way that happened. And then they fucking say, I'm reclaiming my time. And then he goes, what? Like, it's fucking frustrating to watch. Like, it's extraordinarily fucking frustrating to watch. I can't begin to accurately describe to you how frustrating it is to watch. Like, it's like there's points where I'm like getting anxiety. Like my fucking back is starting to tense up and I'm like starting to breathe heavy and I'm like my legs start shaking and shit and I'm doing that and like, dude, it's amazingly fucking frustrating to watch because they ask him a question. It's a good question, and then he goes to answer it, but he's not gonna conform to their he's not gonna tell them their truth. He's gonna tell them his truth, and so like they just immediately cut him off as soon as he begins to want to clarify anything that they might have said previously. They cut him off. They yell at him. I'm claiming my time, and like it's amazingly fucking frustrating to watch, but it is cool because there are a couple of times, like I think the first guy, the first Republican that comes up, he's like, I'm gonna yield my time to you so that you can fucking respond to that shit. And I was laughing so hard. And then there's another lady that asked him, like, it was one of those, will you join me in working on this issue? And he's like, oh yeah. And he's like, but can I, like, fucking answer his question? And she's like, oh, okay, yeah, go ahead, answer his question. And he, like, answers the question. And then, he goes back to her, and then she, expounds more on what's going on in her thing, and he's like, yeah, I'm you and me? Well, yeah, let's do that. And, like, it's so weird. And then the Democrats are doing this, like, whenever they do that, will you join me in an effort? It's always like, will you join me in an effort to expose systemic racism and to, just fuck with police? And he's like, no, I don't believe that there is systemic racism. I believe that there are racist people in the system. And I agree that we'll do our best to weed them out because that's the goal. and like, it's so... It's and then they fucking scream at him and you won't join me to fight racism? And he's like, yeah, I mean, I'll join you to fight racism. And they're like, well, then why won't you commit to this other thing? And he's like, because I don't believe in that other thing. I believe in this other thing that's the same generally, but not as weird as yours. And they fucking start screaming at him. I'm reclaiming my time. And it's like, oh, it's fucking frustrating to listen to. But like, dude, this is nothing. Like, I'm watching it. Like, it's entertaining. I will say that it is thoroughly entertaining. It's hysterical to watch. The dissolving of our government. Like, it's just our institutions is the word I was groping for. It's just interesting to watch the House dissolve into madness and lies. Like, trigger warning. Alright? This is your trigger warning. I'm about to mention Game of Thrones. And I'm about to talk about Game of Thrones. I understand that Game of Thrones last season was for shit. And some people might be hurt that I'm bringing up Game of Thrones. But here's your trigger warning, and grow the fuck up. So, you remember in Game of Thrones when Caitlyn Stark, when she was still alive, and she, you know, like back when the show was good, and she caught Tyrion in the mountains, and then took his little ass up to the Eyrie, and they put him on trial. You remember that sham shit fucking trial? It's the same. I'm watching the same fucking thing. They're accusing him of all of this fucking crazy shit, and then they lay out why and how he's doing it, and then he begins to dispute them, and they go, no, don't answer my question. Like, they've already decided that he is Donald Trump's henchman, and he does the bidding of the God Emperor, and that is all he does. They've decided that. He is convicted. This isn't a hearing. This is them just yelling at him that he's convicted of all of these things. He's done it. So whenever he goes to say, no, that's not how that happened, they yell at him, no, I don't want to hear your bullshit, motherfucker. You did this! Like, it is the fucking, like, thank God this isn't actually like a trial of some sort, because holy shit. But just watching this, I'm like, this is fucking unbelievable to me. Like, I don't, you've got people on the right giving him their time so that he can answer the questions from the left. I just want you to consider that. This is the most divided our country has ever been. The left and the right are damn near 50-50. We are literally fighting for control of the country at this point. We're looking to see which way it's going to shift. Shit is on the fence. Which way is it going to shift? Which side is going to ultimately win? This is the fucking... We're here! It's as divided as it's ever been. The people on the right don't want the people on the left to spout their bullshit. And the people on the left don't want the people on the right to spout their bullshit. Because they know what's going on. And they want to tell you what's going on. Because it's important that you, the American citizen, know what I'm saying. Fuck them. We are at that point. And even considering all of that, in the first hour and 57 minutes and 56 seconds of the first 4 hours, 49 minutes and 30 seconds of this fucking... Yeah, I'm actually looking at it. 2 people on the right have conceded their 5 minutes to him to answer questions on the left. It's amazing to watch the house fall apart. It's sad. I mean, it's terribly fucking sad. But it is mind-blowing to watch. I honestly encourage you, no matter which side you're on, no matter what you might think of my assessment of it to this point, I thoroughly encourage you to watch it. And don't care about what's being said. Pay attention to what's being done. Like, honestly, peanuts that shit. Wah, 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 Charlie Brown. I can't understand you because you're a parent. Do that. Wah, wah, wah. Whenever they say any wah, 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 don't pay attention to the droning of nonsense, because it's all it is. It's nonsense. It's just the whole fucking thing through and through is just goddamn nonsense. It's posturing on both sides. They're just using Bill Barr as a fucking way to just be assholes just for the camera. Like, that's all this fucking shit is. Let's just call it what it is. Fucking, it's what it is. It's just all bullshit. But just pay attention to what's being done through the course of this. It's almost hysterical. Like, the hystericalness of this irony that I'm about to fucking lay down on you is almost enough to outweigh the sadness of watching the house fall apart. One of the things that they're talking about most is the equal under the law thing. That people are treated equal under the law. It's a big thing. People being treated equally. And through the course of it, I am watching this guy be treated so unfairly that literally the opposition is giving him their time so that he can answer I always said I wanted to be there for the end of the world. Right? I want to be there for the end of the world. I think it would be sweet to be living on the sun, living on the earth when the sun supernovas and just eradicates us. I think that would be amazing to see it happen. Or whatever cataclysm it is. I mean, inevitably, we all do understand that our sun will supernova. It's the life cycle of a star. It's what happens. Our sun will supernova and it will expand. And it will destroy, I think, what is it, like the first 4 planets in our solar system and pretty much decimate the rest of them. And then it will collapse into a black hole and all that shit, you know, right? Or white dwarf, red dwarf, whatever the fuck it winds up being, right? But it's gonna fucking expand. And it's gonna destroy this planet. It might not be for billions of years, but at some point the shit will happen. And I think it would be fucking cool to be here when it fucking happens. Like, you know, I want to be the dude in heaven where, you know, everybody's sitting around and goes, how'd you die? I was there for the day. Oh, no shit. Yeah, I was there for the last day, man. fucking the end times, like for fucking real. Like that would just be neat. I think that would be neat. But I don't want to be here for the country's end. Like I don't want to be here when the country ends. I don't want to be here for that. I don't want to live through that. And it's sad. Because I am. Like when it comes down to it, like it's happening. These things don't happen. Right? Like it's not like on this day everything fucking turned. Like it doesn't happen like that. No. There will be definable moments. There are already definable moments where you can say this is where the shit happened. I blame participation trophies, that horseshit. As soon as that became a thing, all the asshole kids that had that shit happen to them when it started are Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's age. You think that fucking shit's a coincidence? I blame it on that. It happened years ago. That's when we were fucked. We should have never let that shit happen. Back then, we should have said, alright, look, fuck off. We're keeping score. But, no, we went, okay. And here we are. Living in a world where a bunch of children that can't deal with life are running life for the rest of us. And infecting older generations with it. Thank God the older generation that they're infecting with it is just, the House and the Senate of our government. I want to be here for the end of the world. Not the end of freedom in this fucking world. I don't like this. It's sad to watch. But it is entertaining, so I do give it 2 thumbs up.